Good morning, everyone. Today, I, Aishwarya Singh, and my team are going to give a presentation on air pollution. We have focused our case study on India. This is owing to the fact that our country is plagued by severe air pollution. 21 out of 30 most polluted cities in the world are in India. The infrastructure needed to tackle this massive issue of air pollution is not at all sufficient in India. Therefore, it becomes essential for us to make all of you aware about the situation. Some questions that might come in your mind after thinking about pollution are we doing something to solve these problems? Do we know enough about the conditions under which a pollution episode occurs? What are the regulations? And most importantly, how to control these emissions? So, we'll find the answers to these questions in our case study. Now, let us begin.
Hello everyone, I am Gaurav Best and today I will tell you about air pollution. What is air pollution, how is it measured, and its effects. Air pollution is the presence of particles in the atmosphere that are harmful to the health of all living beings and cause damage to climate. There are two types of air pollution. First, natural ones, which is created when the forest fire produces carbon monoxide particles and when natural disasters suspend soil and dust. Second one is unnatural or man-made, which is created when we use coal, wood and other fuels. To check air quality, we use air quality index, which indicates whether the air is harmful for us or not. Its range lies from 0 to 500. If AQI lie between 0 to 100, it's good. If it lie above 100, it's harmful. There are five major pollutants which harm us the most. First, carbon monoxide, second, sulfur dioxide, third, nitrogen dioxide, fourth, particulate matter, fifth, ground level ozone. Carbon monoxide. It consumes O2 in our blood and form complex compound, which is highly harmful and lead to lungs failure and other problems. Nitrogen dioxide. It affects lungs and causes respiratory infection. It produces when nitric oxide combines with oxygen. Particulate matter. Particulate matter is the sum of all solid and liquid particles suspended in air, many of which are harmful. This complex includes particles like dust, pollen, smoke, fog, and so on. Ground level ozone. At ground level, ozone is harmful pollutant. It affects our lungs and cause many problems. These five together form smoke. Smoke is combination of water vapor and dust. It occurs in situation when temperature is high. Air pollution affects our eyesight and limit visibility, cause respiratory problems, and every year about 2.5 million people in India die because of air pollution. So the question is what we can do. We can change this odd by believing in 3R principle: recycle, reuse and reduce. I hope you will think about it. Now my friend will continue our case study.
So, next is climate change. What is climate change? Climate change is a long term change in the average weather patterns that have come to define Earth's local and regional and global climates. Climate change includes both global warming driven by human induced emissions of greenhouse gases and the resulting large scale shifts in weather patterns. Major causes of climate change. Greenhouse gases are those that absorb and emit infrared radiation in the wavelength range emitted by Earth. CO2 0.04%, nitrous oxide, methane, and ozone are trace gases that account for almost 0.1% of Earth's atmosphere and have an appreciable greenhouse effect. There are many greenhouse gases, but here's a list of six gases regulated by the Paris Agreement. These are the ones that have the greatest impact on climate change. CO2. CO2 enters the atmosphere through burning fossil fuels such as coal, natural gas, and oil. It is removed from the atmosphere when it is absorbed by plants as well as a part of the biological carbon cycle. Methane. Methane emissions results from livestock and other agricultural practices, land use, and by decay of organic waste in municipal solid waste landfills. Nitrous oxide, that is N2O, which is emitted during agricultural land use, industrial activities, combustion of fossil fuels and solid waste, as well as during treatment of wastewater. Fluorinated gases, hydrofluorocarbons, perfluorocarbons, sulfur hexafluoride, and nitrogen trifluoride are synthetic powerful greenhouse gases that are emitted from a variety of industrial processes.
Now, some effects of climate change. First, we see that due to sudden climate change, there is damage to crops. Melting of polar ice, polar bears, and other animals are drowning. An average increase in Earth's temperature during the last century. Melting of glacier will lead to higher sea level, which will cause flood and put many low elevation regions at risk of disappearing underwater. Migrating birds are forced to change their time and place of migration. Droughts, heat waves, extreme winters, storms, and typhoons are the effect of climate change. What can be done? We must admit that climate change is everyone's problem. No agencies, government, or scientists can fix it for us. We all are in this together. We got here because of our lifestyle. So our lifestyle has to change. Here, what you can do: conserve electricity. Unplug chargers of cell phones and other appliances when not in use. Unplug charger as soon as the batteries are fully charged. Conserve hot water. Fix leaky tap. Install low flow shower heads. Wash laundry in cold water. Conserve by the car. Take public transport, and if you are only going a short distance, consider riding a bike or walking instead of driving. Reduce waste. Recycle and buy recycled product. Carry cloth bags when shopping. Reduce emission of greenhouse gases. Attempt to develop alternatives energies. Rising maximum temperatures. Shrinking of glacier.
Square will tell you about definition, types, and causes of global warming. Global warming is the long-term heating of Earth's climate system due to human activities like burning of fossil fuels, which increase heat-trapping greenhouse gas levels in the atmosphere. Now, I will tell you about the difference between global warming and climate change. Basically, global warming is the increase of Earth's average temperature due to greenhouse gases present in the atmosphere, whereas climate change is the change in climate including average temperature and precipitation. In this, the average temperature means the regional or local temperature may decrease or remain constant. Due to increase in magnitude of greenhouse effect, the presence of water vapor, CO2, methane, nitrous oxides warms the Earth's surface temperature and lower atmosphere, which causes greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is increase in global temperature, which cause climate change. The greenhouse. A greenhouse is a glass in which you grow plants that need to be protected from global warming. In this, the sunlight from the sun passes through the greenhouse glass and warms the plants. The plants and the soil warms up and gives out heat. Some passes through the glass, but some is trapped inside, warming up the greenhouse. And certain gases in the atmosphere trap heat. These gases prevent the heat from escaping back into the space. The more greenhouse gases are in the atmosphere, the more heat gets trapped. It is the greenhouse effect that makes this planet warm. Otherwise, it would be too difficult for humans to survive on this planet. However, too much increase in Earth's temperature due to increase in number of greenhouse gases results in global warming.
Effect of global warming. Ice caps are melting, resulting in sea level rise. Global warming causes the polar ice sheet to melt. It increases the sea level. Flooding will probably occur in lowlands as depicted in the graph. With increase in temperature, average sea level is increasing and hemispherical snow is decreasing rapidly. It is threat for polar habitat as well as for coastal habitats. Other effects of global warming include unpredictable weather pattern, increase in extreme weather events, loss of biodiversity, land degradation. As you can see in this graph, sea level is rapidly increasing from last 3 decades. Now the question is, when did global warming started? In second industrial revolution, which was in 1870, was the biggest cause of global warming. Other causes are population boom which result in deforestation. What can we do to stop global warming? Turn off appliances when not in use, take short showers, keep room cool by closing off curtains, turn off light when not in use, use LEDs. Recycling can help protect tree, result in less emission of CO2. Planting tree is helpful as they absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and regulate the climate. Start using renewable energy sources as solar energy, geothermal, wind, and biomass, and stop using fossil fuels. Measures taken by World Organization. The Kyoto Protocol, which was an international treaty which aims to reduce greenhouse gas emission. As of November 2009, 187 states has signed the protocol. The target of the first commitment period of the Kyoto Protocol was to reduce the emission of 6 greenhouse gases, namely carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, HFCs, PFCs, and sulfur hexafluoride.
This image illustrates the path for acid rain in our environment. Emission of SO2 and NO2 are released into the air, where the pollutants are transformed into acid particles that may be transformed long distances. These acid particles then fall to the earth as wet and dry deposition, and when cause harmful effects on soil, forests, streams, and lakes. Formation of acid rain. Rotting vegetation and erupting volcanoes releases some chemicals that can cause acid rain. But most acid rain is a product of human activities. The biggest source of coal burning sources are coal burning power plants, factories, and automobiles. When humans burn fossil fuels, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide are released into the atmosphere. Those air pollutants react with water, oxygen, and other substances to form airborne sulfuric and nitric acid. Winds may spread these acidic compounds through the atmosphere and over hundreds of miles. When acid are reach acid rain reaches earth, it flows across the surface in runoff water, enters water system and sinks into the soil. Acidity and alkalinity are measured using pH scale, for which 7 is neutral. The lower a substance pH, the more acidic it is. The higher a substance pH, the more alkaline it is. Normal rain has a pH of about 5.6. It is slightly acidic because carbon dioxide dissolves into it, forming weak carbonic acid. Acid rain usually has a pH between 4.2 and 4.4. Effects of acid rain on the environment. Sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide are not primary greenhouse gases that contributes to global warming. One of the main effects of climate change. In fact, sulfur dioxide has a cooling effect on the atmosphere, but nitrogen oxide contributes to the formation of ground level ozone, a major pollutant that can be harmful to people. Both gases cause environmental and health concerns because they can spread easily via air pollution and acid rain. Acid rain has many ecological effects, especially on lakes, streams, wetlands, and other aquatic environments. Acid rain makes such water more acidic, which results in more aluminum absorption from soil, which is carried into lakes and streams. How can we reduce the acid effect of rain? The only way to fight acid rain is by curbing the release of the pollutant that cause it. This means burning fewer fossil fuels and setting air quality standards. Acid rain problem will persist as long as fossil fuels use does. One study found that acid rain in China may have even contributed to a deadly 2009 landslide. China is implementing controls for sulfur dioxide emission, which have fallen 75% since 2007, but India's have increased by half.
What is acid rain? Acid rain is a broad term that includes any form of precipitation with acidic components such as sulfuric or nitric acid that fall to the ground from the atmosphere in wet or dry forms. What causes acid rain? Acid rain results when sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides are emitted into the atmosphere and transported by wind and air currents. The sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides react with water, oxygen, and other chemicals to form sulfuric and nitric acids. These then mix with water and other materials before falling to the ground. The major sources of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides in the atmosphere are burning of fossil fuels to generate electricity, vehicles and heavy equipment, manufacturing, oil refineries, and other industries.
Now coming to the ozone layer. The ozone layer or ozone shield is a region of Earth's stratosphere that absorbs most of the sun's ultraviolet radiation. It contains a high concentration of ozone in relation to other parts of the atmosphere. Although still small in relation to other gases in the stratosphere, the ozone layer contains less than 10 parts per million of ozone, while the average ozone concentration in Earth's atmosphere as a whole is about zero point 0.3 parts per million. The ozone layer is mainly found in the lowest portion of that at stratosphere from approximately 15 to 35 kilometers above Earth, although its thickness varies seasonally and geographically. Coming to the types of ozone. Now, first, stratospheric ozone. The ozone layer or the ozone shield is a region of Earth's stratosphere that absorbs most of the sun's ultraviolet radiation. It contains a high concentration of ozone in relation to other parts of the atmosphere, although still small in relation to other gases in the stratosphere. Ground level ozone. Tropospheric or ground level ozone is not emitted directly into the air but is created by chemical reaction between oxides of nitrogen and volatile organic compounds. This happens when pollutants emitted by cars, power plants, industrial boilers, refineries and chemical plants and other sources chemically react in the presence of sunlight. Then what is ozone layer depletion? Ozone layer depletion means the thinning of the ozone layer present in the upper atmosphere that is harmful to nature and atmosphere. Ozone layer depletion is one of the major problems for atmosphere and also for all the living beings including the flora and fauna of this earth.
So now, causes of ozone layer. The main cause of ozone layer depletion and the ozone hole is manufactured chemicals, especially manufactured halocarbon, solvent and foam blowing agent CFC, HCFC, halon. The depletion of the ozone layer has a harmful effect on human health, animals, environment and marine. Studies demonstrate that an increase in UV rays cause a high risk of skin cancer and direct exposure to ultraviolet radiation also leads to skin and eye cancer in animals. Now come to the solution of ozone layer. Montreal Protocol was proposed in 1987 to unite the world to cut out the production and import of ozone depleting substances. Every individual should also take steps to prevent the depletion of the ozone layer. One should avoid using pesticides and shift to natural methods. We should substitute that with eco-friendly products. Maintain air conditioner as their malfunction cause CFC to escape into the atmosphere.